So massive protests and riots are breaking out all throughout Europe, right? Tens of thousands of people in major cities are shutting them down, right? All throughout Europe. And this is happening because people are reaching a breaking point. People are sick of this. People cannot take it anymore. People are not able to survive, right? I made a video a couple days ago talking about how it's going to get ugly. All right, things are going to get hard to watch, and it seems like this is the start of it. It seems like things are getting hard to watch. It's starting to get ugly in Europe, and the United States is next. All right, we are next, guaranteed. We are seeing a collapse of Europe right now, a controlled collapse of Europe, right? And I was talking about yesterday in one of my videos that Western officials and NATO officials of, officials of governments are preparing for people to flee cities and to panic buy. All right, so go check that out if you didn't after this video. But they're preparing for something huge in Europe, right? And now mass protests and riots have hit. So the city of Paris has essentially been shut down. Tens of thousands of people, all right? Numbers in the range from 140,000 to 30,000. It's a wide range, I know, but those are the numbers that are being reported, all right? So at least 30,000 up to 140,000 people in Paris shutting it down right now, all right? And this is because the cost of living is too high. People cannot afford to live. People are struggling, and it's winter. People are saying, I'm going to freeze. Like, how am I going to stay warm this winter? People are freaking out. And it says that people are wearing the yellow vests. They're bringing back the yellow vest protest, right? And this is because 4 out of 7 refineries in France have been shut down, all right? So over half of their oil capacity has been shut down, and there are massive oil shortages and oil rationing, gas shortages, gas station shortages happening in France right now, all right? This is also happening in Germany. There's also massive protests in Germany right now, and we'll get to that in just a second, all right? So it's also saying that some people are so desperate, some people are freaking out so much. Obviously, I'm sure most people part of the protests are not doing this, all right? They even said in the article this is a fringe. But people, it says, masked men dressed in black ransacked a bank, all right? So they're even robbing banks. People are freaking out in Paris, France right now, all right? This is huge that this is happening. These are the biggest protests that we've seen since 2018 when there was massive anti-government protests in France as well, all right? So this is huge. This could come to America at any moment. We've seen how fast massive riots and protests and demonstrations and fires and all this stuff could happen very quickly in the United States. It's all it takes is a coordinated campaign in the United States for this same kind of thing to happen here, all right? So what's going on in Europe, all right? Let me know. Are you in Paris, France? What do you see? Boots on the ground? Do you see these people protesting? Do you agree with them? What do you think's happening? Are they affecting traffic flow? I would like to know some boots on the ground information of what's happening. So this is also happening in Germany, all right? So the same kind of protest, and apparently they're saying the ones in France are from far left protesters, apparently, and they're saying the ones in Germany are far right protesters. But they're all protesting similar things, that this is out of control. We cannot afford to live. So this is something we can all come together on, that we don't want to live in this dystopia where prices just to drive your car and heat your home are ridiculous, and it's only for the elites, right? That's what we were heading towards. That's what we're moving towards right now. So it says far right, apparently, that's what they're saying in this article, all right? Far right protesters are gathering in front of Berlin's Reichstag building, all right, to protest rising costs in Germany. And it says they're specifically protesting sanctions on Russia over the invasion. And they're protesting that these sanctions are driving up prices for them. They are the root cause of the price increases in energy that they are seeing, right? So this is happening all over Europe. People, this is saying tens of thousands of people were outside of the Reichstag building in Berlin as well. All right, but the one in Paris is massive. France is going to have another round of these massive anti-government yellow vest protests. It seems like they're already starting again. And I believe once this hits the mainstream, more people are going to join, and it's going to be huge. We could see this spread all over the world, all right? And it's one of these things that, what are people supposed to do? People are starving. People are freezing. People are being pushed out of their homes, out of their rent, out of their living situations, forced to live in different situations because prices are going up. What are they supposed to do? How are they supposed to survive in these living conditions? And a lot of it is self-inflicted. It is true. A lot of it is self-inflicted, all right? One of the main reasons why there are strikes in France for these oil refineries, all right? And it's very strange. There's strikes going on all over the place. There's another strike for the railroad crisis. That's back on too, all right? Strikes going on all over the place. Very strange. And they're having strikes there in France for the oil refineries, all right? Because they will not, they're trying to not give people their pensions. They're trying to raise the retirement age for a lot of people that are about to retire, all right? So I think it's like 62 or something. They're trying to raise it in France, and it's going to screw over a lot of people's pension, and they're not going to compensate them for that. There's also a whole other host of issues, but I read that's one of the biggest issues that they're facing for these strikes, all right? But it's also very bad timing for this to happen, all right? France also has over half of their nuclear reactors are offline as well due to maintenance, drought, water availability. All this stuff is going on in France too. So they are getting hit hard. What's going on with Europe, all right? They're obviously preparing for something huge. From my video yesterday, it seems like they're preparing for martial law. They're ready for people to panic buy and flee the cities. And these protests are the bubbling up. This is the start of them declaring martial law. This is the start of it all. And once people start really catching on to what's going on, the government could crack down. They already said they're spraying tear gas and using batons to get control of people. So we could definitely see a massive crackdown in Europe, right? Especially if nuclear devices are used, then we will definitely see a massive crackdown, lockdown in Europe, and most likely the United States as well. So let me know how long you think until we see massive protests like this hit the United States. We will probably be the last one because all these other countries absorb the damage before we do. But we are going to get hit hard as well very soon. All right, so thank you guys for watching. Please stay prepared, get your stuff now before prices go up even more, or the availability is just gone and you can't get it. All right, it doesn't matter how much money you have. It's just not going to be there. So get prepared now, get stocked up now, and thank you guys for watching. You have a big old blessed day.